Cairo! Ooh! Cairo! I said Cairo. Lambo. When we come back in this house, you guys are gonna be brothers. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Do your cervix hang low? Yo, do it wobble to the floor. Do you have any words for Cairo right now?
I am not happy with you.
So I'm here to share my birth story. Except I was gonna vlog it, right? That was my plan. Like, I loved people who like vlogged and you could see it. But as everyone should probably tell you, if you are a new mom or expecting or will be in the future, expect the unexpected. It's not gonna go the way you think it is. I asked 500 people before I gave birth, right? Because I'm trying to basically predict how my thing was gonna go. Oh, silly me. And everyone gave me a different story. No one could even give me a proper explanation, not even my midwife, of what contractions really feel like. And once I felt it, I understand that you really can't explain it. Like, I don't even know how it's so inexplicable, but it's hard to explain. So basically, I had this plan in my head and it didn't go as planned. So it's not a vlog, it's a birth story mixed with some vlogging. There's like a little bit of video, but couldn't really record a thing as I wanted to because I was 24 hours in labor and it just wasn't really the most fun experience, but it's okay because I got Cairo. So let's start from the beginning. June 11th. 3 a.m. I started getting contractions, but I wasn't sure if they were the Braxton Hicks contractions, which are like the fake contractions, because I had gotten some fake contractions late Friday night, but they weren't real. They lasted like an hour, blah, blah. But these, I wasn't sure. So I wanted to wait because it's 3 a.m. Kamar's asleep, everybody's asleep, no one's answering my text, and I'm not saying I'm in labor, you know, I'm just like, hey, what you doing? You know, like, just trying to like, cause I can't go to sleep because it's happening like I feel like at this point it was happening like every 10 minutes or something like that, right? And like I tried to be prepared, but I didn't really understand that every certain type of minutes. I downloaded an app and I was just confused. So I waited and waited. By the time it hit 5, I know, I waited 2 whole ass hours, but I knew for a fact, it was not Braxton Hicks. Braxton Hicks does not last 2 hours and it was getting more constant. So I sort of let Kamar know, but I let him go to sleep because I didn't want to be in a hospital for centuries, which I ended up being anyways. So I'm like, let me wait it out. So I live in Brooklyn now, but I was getting treated in Manhattan. And for those of you who are not from New York, basically it was going to be an hour drive, right? So I woke Kamar up, like to get up at like 6-ish. And I made him text his sisters at around 7. And I made them come and they got to the house at like 8:30, let's say, and I think we ended up leaving close to 9. Got some food. I'm still like getting contractions. At this point, they're like every 5 to 7 minutes. I lied. They're a little less, right? 5 to 7 minutes though, let's just say, whatever. And I don't know what to expect. I don't know how far along I am, yada, yada, yada. So we get to the hospital around 9:45. By 10, like I'm in the waiting room filling out the paperwork, and as I'm in the waiting room filling out the paperwork, swoosh, like my whole water breaks. And it's not nothing slight. Like I know everyone's experience is different, but my shit went swoosh, like all my water broke in like 2 big old, like it was no doubt about it, my water break. So me and Kamar, who's my boyfriend, we're thinking we lit. Like I thought once your water breaks, we are like in active labor and this baby about to come out in like 2 hours or less. That was what I thought. So they, you know, once your water breaks, you have to be like, you know, checked in or whatever the word is, because you can't be with your water broken for more than 24 hours. There's risk of infection, yada, yada, yada. So she measures me at 11 a.m. I'm 1 centimeter dilated. I am I've never even heard of that before. What the heck is 1 centimeter dilated? She was like, if your water had not broken, she would have sent me home. So it's like, by the way, if you don't know, it's 10 centimeters that I have to dilate. So I just started the journey. So it's like, yo. So she lets me walk it out, right? So basically I walk it out, we dance, we do dumb stuff. Like it's me, Kamar, and his two sisters carrying me.
Hey. 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 Yo.
It helps. It does help when she goes from side to side. It helps.
Go Cairo. Go Cairo.
Where's this woman?
Do your titties hang low? Do they wobble to the floor?
Do it shine in the dark? Is it black? Is it chalk?
Do your cervix hang low? Cause his head is really low. Do your cervix hang low?
I hope the fuck so.
Go Cairo. Go Cairo. Go. Hey. Hey. Get shiggy. Get shiggy. Get shiggy. You get shiggy.
Oh, baby. Oh.
They get it with the zoom in.
454. I'm just like, I feel tired.
I know by the time it's time to push, you're gonna be tired.
I know that I'm tired now. And the break. A long break.
Another bipolar. Crazy.
Oh yeah, at least I got, he's a Gemini. For sure.
Wanna twirl. Kyra going like this and then.
Go Cairo. Go Cairo. Go Cairo. Go Cairo. Fuck this. Help.
5 p.m. she measures me again. I'm 1 centimeter dilated. 1 centimeter dilated. Like they have to induce me at this point. Mind you, I've been getting contractions since 3 a.m. It's now 5, which makes that how many hours that I've been in labor basically? 14. So they're like, we have to induce you. So my plan, and I'm not one of those people who's against, what's the word? Wow, words escape me all the time. What's the word I'm looking for? Wow, it's such a basic word. The thing they put in your back. Epidural, oh my God, why did that take so long? Epidural. I was not against an epidural, but my plan was, I guess I just wanted to feel strong, you know, like the strength of labor and motherhood and womanhood, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to basically go as long as I could, and if I could do the whole thing without the epidural, yay me, and if I couldn't, sure, I'd get an epidural, right? So at this point, I've been doing it without the epidural, but the nurse, you know, decides to be real with me and be like, you are 1 centimeter dilated. Like, we gonna induce you, but you're probably, the pains are gonna only get worse from here, dramatically worse. And like, you're probably not gonna give birth until 6, 7 a.m. Mind you, at this point, it's 5 p.m. and I've been doing this since 3 p.m. and I'm tired. Like, it's tiring. Like, cause at this point, I'm like, it's ranging. It's really random. It's like from every 2 to 5 minutes. Maybe even a little bit more, but it's just like, imagine being attacked, stabbed. It's like, the whole thing is being strangled and just like, I can't explain it, but every 2 to 5, whatever minutes. It's tiring. So I'm like, let's get the epidural, whatever. Best decision of my life, by the way, unless you're super into natural. If you're debating it, get it. I don't care what people say. First of all, the thing about getting back pains is a myth. My midwife told me, and it makes sense. Think about all the strain on your back from pregnancy. Think about all the strain on your back after you like are pregnant, because you're constantly like this, you know, like, oh, let me breastfeed you. Oh, let me grab you from the bassinet of the crib. Oh, you know, so it's like, see my back? Yeah, your back is a struggling period, so it's not the epidural. Like, it makes sense that your mind's making the connection, but had you not gotten an epidural and you suffer from back pain, you probably would still have back pain. Like, just a coincidence. But anyways, best decision of my life. Like, I felt the squeezing and the tightening, but I didn't feel any pain. Fast forward, and this is where things get not as fun. And like they left, like his sisters left and stuff, because at this point it was forever. There was no point in like filming. So basically they're like, your baby's heartbeat keeps going down every time you have a contraction. So they switch my position to the side, they switch my position to the other side, they keep switching positions, and that's not working. Okay, since my water broke so early and they had measured me and there was barely any water left, they tried to put like water back up there to increase the buoyancy to see if that would work. That did not work. So at this point it's like, they measure me. I'm at this point, which is, oh, and then they removed the medicine to induce me to see if on my regular contractions, like on my own, it would do the same thing. It did the same thing. So now it's 11 p.m. They measure me. I'm only 3 centimeters dilated, which is just ridiculous. But they're like, you know, the midwife keeps it real with me then, and she's just like, well, no, that was the nurse, that's midwife, whatever. And she's like, honestly, we can attempt to do natural birth, because obviously I didn't want a C-section. To be honest with you, I did not think I was gonna get a C-section. Like, so little that I didn't even do research about it. So she's like, the baby could barely handle this now, and you're only 3 centimeters dilated. So if we try to push, you may end up having to do an emergency C-section anyways. You know, it's just too much on the baby. So it's definitely gonna be too much when we get over there. You know, so like, when it's time to push. And of course, not what I wanted. I did not want a C-section at all. I was very bummed out. But it was like, no hesitation for Cairo. Like, if you're telling me that it's gonna affect him, let's just do a C-section. So I don't know what the hold up was. This conversation was like 11:30, and I don't know what took so long. Point is, they, you know, put the anesthesia. You're awake during the C-section, so it's an emergency C-section. We don't really start doing it till like 2:30, like, you know, whatever, getting ready for it, a.m. And I get into the room, and like, now I'm like nervous, because I literally, like, from 11:30 till that time was all the time I had to do research on C-section, because I hadn't bothered, because I know I said expect the unexpected, but I expected everything besides the C-section. I just really, like, my pregnancy, like, yeah, I had issues. I had hemorrhoids, you know, pooping hurt, and my butt itched all the time. Yeah, my feet got swollen. Yeah, like, I had diarrhea and constipation issues, like my back hurt, I have mad stretch marks, but at the end of the day, all of that, varicose veins, at the end, all that was normal. My pregnancy was normal. My midwife's like, yeah, I gotta have a like C-section, you know, like, and then I ended up having a C-section. So it was just like, and the room is cold. The medicine that they give you, like, at least for me, and my sister had a C-section too, she told me the same thing happened to her, made me shake. And then I started getting anxiety, because there's like mad people. These aren't the people that you've been with. You know, it's not the midwife, it's not mad people. You've been at this for so long, you're nervous, because you hear about it's these big bright lights on top of you. And it's freezing, and like the medicine is making you shake. Plus, I think my anxiety was making me shake more. And you just know that they're about to cut you open. Like, so I started crying. I literally was like, I don't know why I'm crying. When a minute, like, you know, it's okay. And Kamar was there the whole time holding my hand, but it was just like, I don't know, I was just getting anxiety. I was nervous for myself, more so for Cairo, blah, blah. The procedure itself actually was mad fast. It took like probably 15 minutes. And it's still crazy to me that he came out. So he was born at 3:19 a.m. But, you know, they took him over there to clean him up, whatever. And, you know, that's just another part of labor that I was really looking forward to, was like him coming out and me like holding him and like that skin to skin. And I didn't get any of that, because so they had him over there and like, okay, whatever, do your thing. But now I'm like, okay, they're taking too long. And mind you, I'm already crying, like I'm anxious. Because at first it went from excitement when I heard his first cry, and it was just like tear of joy to like tear of like nervousness, like, where's my son? Literally, like, where is my son? Like, what's taking so long? So then they're like, oh, we need to take him to like the NICU, but they're like trying to downplay it. They're like, oh, he's fine, we just need to check on him. Basically the umbilical cord was what was wrapped around his neck, so he couldn't breathe. So they bring him to us, right? And like, they don't tell us that he's blue, right? Because even the darkest of darkest babies, and my boyfriend is dark skinned, right? So we had no idea baby could be light skin, brown skin, dark skin. The baby could have been anything, right? But even dark skinned babies are like light. So we're looking at him like, damn, I guess you're gonna be dark, because this isn't normal. And it wasn't a normal dark skin either. It was like an ashy looking dark skin, which later we find out is blue. No wonder it was an off looking undertone. But whatever. I don't think much of it at all, especially due to the fact that I got to only hold my son for like 10 seconds. Literally, that was probably the most disappointing part of it all, was the fact that I wanted to hold him so much. So yeah, now they take him to the NICU. I'm super nervous. We can't go to the NICU for another, like, probably Kamar gets to go for like 2 hours, but I can't move. Morphine and all the stuff that got me itching like a damn crackhead now at this point. So this thing hurts every time they like, you know, touch you and stuff. Oh, it hurts. Kamar goes see him in a NICU. Then later I can see him in a NICU like that day or whatever. So he was in a NICU for 2 days because thank God I decided to get a C-section. I did. Wait, I guess it was so tight around his neck. Like, he was blue. He couldn't breathe. God forbid I would have tried the natural labor stuff. Who knows what would have happened, you know? So he had to be in a NICU for like 2 days. So I was in the hospital for like 3 days. I left Saturday. They gave him to me Friday. And so he was in a NICU Wednesday, all of Wednesday and all of Thursday and Friday morning. They gave him to me. But when we went to the NICU on Thursday, it's funny because the nurse is like, oh, he's doing great, but because they couldn't assure me at first like how long he was gonna be there. You know, he had a little oxygen tank, not tank, you know what I mean, mask, and it was really sad, especially because, you know, in the NICU you can't, all you can do is put your hands. So that was sort of sad, but they didn't tell us that he was in critical condition, so we had no idea. So there's 2 sides of the NICU, and she's like, okay, well, we're moving him out of critical condition. So whatever, she leaves, and me and Kamar look at each other like, did you peep that she just said critical condition? At this point, you know, he's fine, so whatever. So I could understand them maybe not telling me because I'm already crying. I clearly have anxiety. But they could have told Kamar, he's calm and collected, and he would have told me at the right time. But whatever, thank God, he was fine. Friday, I got him and I was so excited, you know, because it's just like, I've been waiting to hold you, my guy. Like, I've been waiting to breastfeed you, hold you, like, I'm just even like getting the feels of like, I remember when I was able to finally like have him, hold him. It was just like, I feel like extra special because I had to wait extra long staring at you in a damn little plastic box. So yeah, I took him home on Saturday and he's been great ever since. So that's sort of my story. Emergency C-section, NICU for 2 days. Not at all what I thought. Especially not the NICU and especially not the C-section. But God works in whatever ways and he's healthy and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's my birth story. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed my birth story. I guess it's not like the most like fun story. But I mean, it had its fun moments, you know, like it had its fun moments. Like while I was waiting before things went down, like they had like the stupid Brittany and Kamar, Brittany is Kamar's sister, had like music, that little, what was it, the electric slide? No, not the electric slide. What the heck is that? Like, wow. Every time I get on the camera, I forget like all knowledge of life. Cha-cha, real smooth now. It was just, they were stupid. They were stupid, but it was cool. It was an experience, and I can't wait to have that experience again in 5 more years. Not right now. I'm so good with Cairo. 5 more years, catch me with other children. I want 3 to 5 kids starting in 5 more years. But just that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and